Hi everyone. So it's a lovely sunny day here today, and I thought, you know what, I'm going to get on and make a little video presenting the Home Essentials kit. So I'm going to show you this kit. So this kit is the Home Essentials kit, and it's also the Family Essentials kit, and it is doTERRA's best-selling 10 oils. I'll show you it here. And these oils can be used for so many different things. So some of you watching this video may already have this kit, so this may be of use for you in terms of using your oils. For some of you, you may not already have the kit, so this may be informative education for you. So I'm going to use a couple of tools as I go through these oils, and one of them is this wonderful book called Emotions and Essential Oils, which you can get on Amazon UK. I highly recommend that you get it. You can't get it on Amazon Spain, but you can get it on UK and get it sent if you're in Ibiza. The other book is this book, Modern Essentials, and this also comes in an app, which is really handy. I can link it onto this video, and I can link these books as well. But these are the books that I'm using. So firstly, just to explain a little bit about doTERRA and about what doTERRA are about. So the words doTERRA mean gift from the earth, and you know, these oils really are gifts from the earth. They've changed my life in so many ways, and essential oils are powerful, potent plant medicine. They're not something new, they're not something woo-woo, they're something that's been around for thousands of years, and they're what, you know, the ancient Egyptians, the ancient Greeks and Romans and our ancestors actually used to heal ourselves. So it makes sense that, you know, that we use this plant medicine now. And what essential oils are is they're the secretions of the bud, the plant, the flower, the bark, the root, that actually protect the plant, protect them from bacteria, protect them from the sun, which is coming through my window at the moment, the sun, from any sort of danger really, any sort of pollutant. So it makes sense that we use these powerful essences to protect ourselves, and they're secreted by the plant, and we extract them in many different ways, and often the way that we extract them is represented in the price. So for example, a citrus oil is steam distilled from the rind of the fruit, and the citrus oils tend to be a little bit cheaper. The flowers are a little bit more delicate, and depending on, you know, which flower, obviously if it's rose or helichrysum, these flowers, it takes many petals to make this precious oil, so the price is often, you know, higher. We've only just started actually selling rose, because rose as an oil is it takes like thousands and thousands to make a tiny little bit of rose. So, you know, we found a way to create sustainable rose, so it's only very recently that doTERRA have started selling rose essential oil. So going back to my point, so essential oils are what the plant or the flower or the bud or the bark secrete, and we then take those to extract that oil and distill it and make it into a pure essential oil. Now, the essential oil industry is unregulated, so if you go online and you buy an essential oil and it says 100% natural, then that doesn't really mean anything. So doTERRA formulated their own form of testing, which is called CPTG, and this basically means that every bottle of oil that you buy is third-party tested and rigorously tested. doTERRA's tagline is "in pursuit of purity," and everything that they're about as a brand is actually, you know, bringing you the purest essential oil that you can get in this world. So CPTG gives you that guarantee as a mother, you know, if you're pregnant, if you're using these oils and you're not well, to support health conditions, then you know that you've got that guarantee that these oils are free of pesticides, they're free of nasties, they're not diluted, they're pure, you know, pure essential oil. So the way that we source our oils in doTERRA is called co-impact sourcing. So we go to the place in the world that produces the best oil. So our lavender comes from Bulgaria. You can get, you know, lavender all over the world, but the best lavender, the best chemical constituent, and chemistry is really what essential oils are all about, not that I'm very big on chemistry, the best chemical constituent of lavender is produced in Bulgaria. So we distill our oil from Bulgaria. And also what we do is we go to places where we can support economies, and we really look after the farmers and the growers to make sure that they get a fair price for their product, which is really important. You know, a lot of these communities, they rely on this oil. This is their sole source of income. So doTERRA makes sure they're paid on time, they're paid fairly, and they're paid a fair price for their product, which they should be. And this then gives them, you know, that empowers them. So we're empowering farmers and growers to have, you know, a good life too, not just us from using these oils, but for them too. And this is really, you know, a big powerful part of what doTERRA are all about. So there's a website called Source to You, which I urge you to look up, and you can actually put in the number of your bottle onto this website, and it tells you the whole route of the oil, the growers, the distillation, and you know, it costs millions to do this kind of testing and to, you know, to bring us these oils that are so pure, and that really resonates in the smell. The other thing that doTERRA do is they have a project called Healing Hands, which really works alongside the co-impact sourcing. And this is a charitable foundation that some of the products that we buy, the Hope Blend and the Rose Day Cream, all of the proceeds, every single penny of those products goes towards Healing Hands. And they support some amazing projects, you know, some Operation Railroad, which saves children that are being sex trafficked. Days for Girls, which is a program that helps girls in the world, you know, have sanitation so they can go to school, and so many more amazing projects to support, you know, people in the world that are in need. So this is really the heart of doTERRA, and you know, yeah, they are the biggest producer of essential oils in the world. Yes, they produce the best essential oils in the world, but the heart of doTERRA is really understanding, you know, what they're about as a business, and that really is to help people. And you know, for me, that is my why, to be able to get these oils into as many hands as I possibly can, and that is why I'm doing this work. So let's move on to the oils. So firstly, let's start with lavender. So lavender is like the mum of essential oils. She does so much. If you've got your oils, please, I urge you to smell. So this lavender really does smell different to normal lavender. I think the mint comes through. It's quite interesting, you know, when people smell these oils that are used to working with oils, and they smell these and they're like, no, that doesn't smell like lavender, that smells different. It's so powerful, you know, even to bring it too close to your face like this is actually sometimes too strong. So the way that we use oils, as soon as we open a bottle, we smell them. Those little compounds go into the olfactory system, into the brain, into the limbic system, and they really affect our emotional center, triggering memories that we're aware of, and also, you know, sometimes triggering memories that we're unaware of. So, you know, if you have a strong reaction to an oil, it's worth noting that, because that can often mean something. So some of the uses of lavender, I'm just going to read some of these out. So lavender and frankincense, like, literally do everything. So lavender, these are some of the uses for modern essentials. Abuse, agitation, allergies, anxiety, bites, blisters, boils, burns. It's very calming. So it's calming, great for anxiety. So we can put a little drop on our hands. We can smell it. We can use it on our feet. So the pores on the feet are bigger, and there's no oil or sebaceous glands on the feet, so the oil goes into the system quite quickly. We can put some in our body oil and use it with a carrier oil. So when we're using essential oils, we want to use a carrier oil because that draws the oil into the skin for longer. Or we can just smell it, or we can put it in a diffuser, a bit like what I've got here. So I've got about 8 drops of lavender in there, filled up with cold water, and a little steam is coming off. It smells divine. Yeah, lovely to have on. Lavender's lovely at night, really helps you to sleep. I'm just going to put my blinds down because the sun is coming in and I can't see you. Okay, so chickenpox, clubfoot, concentration, and I urge you to just kind of say that I'm saying support. I'm not saying cures, I'm just saying that essential oils can really support you. Let's move on. Exhaustion, fever, for your hair. Hay fever, it's nature's hay fever cure. It's great to calm the nervous system. You can use it as a mosquito repellent. You can use it as a sedative for seizures, for tension, for vertigo, for wrinkles, for wounds, so many things. So I urge you to look up lavender, because this is like, if there's one oil that you have to have in your life, it's definitely lavender, okay? So moving on to another oil, very different oil, lemon, which is a citrus, which comes from the rind of the lemon. It takes many, many, many lemons to make this oil. And just to say, you know, to become a doTERRA oil is a big deal. You know, doTERRA refuse about 70 to 80% of the oils that are sent to them because they're not high enough grade. So lemon, just amazing. It's like sunshine in a bottle. I love to diffuse this in the morning. It's really uplifting. The citruses tend to be very good for mood. So for those of you that are in the UK, you know, that might need a little, you know, it's a bit cold. I'm going there tomorrow, so I'll know. A little bit cold, you need a little uplift. This is great to smell from the bottle, to put in the diffuser. The way that I use this as well is I take it internally. So some of the doTERRA oils, I put a drop in my water and then I take it in my water just to really cleanse the system. So this is a good one, you know, for the festive period. If maybe you're going to be overindulging, this just helps the kidneys and the liver really to cleanse the body. So that's lemon. So moving on to, what should we move on to next? Let's move on to peppermint. Okay, so this is one of my favourite oils, peppermint. This is the oil of the buoyant heart. So it's an oil that really kind of bursts your heart open, and it's very stimulating. So something that I like to do with this oil, not everyone likes this, so smell it first, is I like to put a drop on my hands. It's a great one if you need a little pep up. One drop of this is the equivalent of 28 drops of peppermint tea. So I like to rub it on my hands, obviously with a carrier oil, but I haven't got one handy. And then I like to rub a little bit on my shoulders. If you've got sensitive skin, always use a carrier oil. Then I put it on the back of my neck like this. And then I just rub a little bit into my temples, into my hairline, just releases any tension. And then I take a few drops, inhale. And it's like, oh, it's so strong. And it just completely clears your airways, releases any tension in the head, and just gives you a real little pep up. So, you know, if you're giving up caffeine or if you're having that little afternoon slump, then this is great. It's also great to mix with lemon in the diffuser, just to give you a little wake up. I also love to add it to cacao. I have cacao in the mornings now, and I always add a drop of peppermint just to give me a little wake up, because it's a very stimulating oil. Okay, so moving on, we're going to continue with the singles to Melaleuca. This is tea tree oil. So I'm going to find what it says in this emotions book about tea tree oil, because this is a really good one actually. So tea tree oil is disinfectant by nature. It's a great oil to clean with. So I use essential oils to clean because, you know, a lot of the toxins in products can really affect our hormones, affect our lungs, affect our skin, you know, especially if we've got kids with skin issues. Really look at that and what you're using in your home, and consider replacing with essential oils or more natural options. So I use lemon, Melaleuca, and there's a couple of other blends. Sometimes I actually use peppermint in cleaning as well. So Melaleuca, tea tree oil, great for the skin, great for spots, great to, you know, I quite like the smell of it. It smells very sort of cleansing and really, really nice. But it's interesting what it says about it emotionally. It's the oil of energetic boundaries. So it's a disinfectant by nature. Melaleuca, also known as tea tree, clears negative energetic baggage. It specifically releases codependent and parasitic relationships. These toxic relationships may be with people, microorganisms, in the physical body, or spiritual beings. Individuals may feel drained of life force and energy, but they may not be consciously aware of the source of the energy leakage. So I'm not going to read it all out, but it's, you know, sometimes, you know, when you can be around people, and sometimes around Christmas, that drain your energy a little bit. So if you're not keen on the smell, which I wasn't at first, I like it now, but I wasn't at first, then you can put it on your feet, you know, before you go into those situations. So if you've got a friend or a family member who you know is going to drain your energy a little bit, then just put a little bit of this on your feet before you see them. Or if you're around, you know, for me, if I'm around a crowd of lots of people, I take on the energy a bit, so this helps me. And it protects us from emotional vampires. Always great. So yeah, so lemon and Melaleuca, they're really your cleansing oils. Lavender, your relaxing oil. peppermint you're stimulating and awakening, and lemon is also an awakening oil. Okay, so moving on to oregano. And this is one of the oils. A few oils in this kit are amazing for the immune system as well. And this is like the daddy of the immune system. This is like nature's antibiotic, oregano. I don't use this oil a lot, but it's an oil that I use when I'm sick. So if I get a scratchy throat and I'm feeling a little bit under the weather, I put a drop of this in either some honey or some, if you don't have honey, coconut oil or agave in a teaspoon, 1 drop. I put it in my mouth, hold it under my tongue, and then I swallow it. And it tastes awful, but it really works. Every time I do this, the sore throat goes. And like antibiotics, you shouldn't really take it for more than 14 days. But it is a strong oil. It's not an oil to be used on children below the age of, kind of 9. We wouldn't really use it on kids unless we were working with a naturopath. It's a great oil for parasites, as is Melaleuca. But again, it's a powerful oil. So we do need to be, cautious. It's a hot oil. So if you're using it on your skin, then be aware it can be a little bit burny. But it's a great, great medical oil. It's also good, actually, in the bathroom. You can make a little scrub with some sea salt and some coconut oil, and it's great on like fungus. Often we get out of showers here, so it's a good one for that. Okay, so moving on to the king of oils, and this is actually free this month in December, frankincense oil. And this is, I'm just going to read out a little bit about what it says. If I can find it in my book. It's always the way, you can never find it. Let's find it. So frankincense is a bit like lavender. It's great for so many things. Okay, so I'm just going to find it in my book here. Okay, so some of the conditions that frankincense can support with, just to be clear, I'm not saying cure, I'm saying support with. It's up to you to do your own research and have a look and do your own, find your own studies. So these are some of the things that it can. So this comes from the resin of the tree, and our trees come from Somalia. They're very precious trees, and frankincense is probably the most expensive oil in the kit. It retails at about €96, but it's part of the Home Essentials and the Family Essentials kit. So some of the things that it can support with: Alzheimer's disease, aneurysm, arthritis, asthma, balance, any kind of brain issues, brain injury, breathing, cancer, concussion, confusion, coughs, depression, fibroids, immune support, mental fatigue, Parkinson's disease, scarring. It's great for the skin, really nice to make up your own little roller ball. I use jojoba oil and put some frankincense and lavender in, and it's really good to use for the wrinkles and to regenerate the tissue of your skin, so it's really great. The other thing I do with it is I take it internally, so I often put a drop under my tongue, or I put it like this on my finger. I'm going to hold that on the roof of my mouth, and it has this really powerful effect on the nervous system, really calming, really grounding. This is also an oil that I use on my doggies quite a lot as well. Frankincense and copaiba and lavender are my top doggy oils. A great oil for meditation. I sometimes just put it on my third eye if I'm meditating. Really takes me into a lovely deep state. Great oil for yoga. And what it says about it in this lovely book as well, it's a great oil if you're healing. So frankincense reveals deceptions and false truths. It invites individuals to let go of lower vibrations, lies, deceptions and negativity. This oil helps create new perspectives based on light and truth. Frankincense recalls to memory spiritual understanding, gifts, wisdom and knowledge brought into the world. So frankincense it says a lot more than that, but I'm not going to read it all out. It's the oil of the Father. It's the oil of light. Powerful, powerful, beautiful oil, real holy oil. So moving on to some of the blends, I'm just going to say like one thing about each blend because I don't want to really be on here for more than like 20 minutes. So moving on to On Guard. So this is like the 5th oil that I think is great for the immune system. It's called the Protection Blend. It smells like cinnamon. It's a mixture of cinnamon, clove, eucalyptus, ravensara, wild orange, and it's really Christmassy and really lovely. I love diffusing this. I love cinnamon. I actually even put this in, I made some little oat bites with it the other day. I made it with cranberries because I love that kind of cinnamony taste. But this is the one for the immune system. It's the Protection Blend. So you can make up a little roller. See if I've got any handy. For some reason I'm not very organised. See if I've got them handy. Ah, yes, I have. Right, hang on, I've got a roller in here. It's a fine one. So I make up a little roller like this with about 25, 30 drops. I'll be doing this when I travel. And I put in it frankincense, lemon, oregano, melaleuca, frankincense, lemon, oregano, melaleuca and on guard. 5 of the oils in the kit are for the immune system, and I can't recommend them enough. I'll be flying and I'll make sure that I've got my immune blend with me, and I'll be rolling that on my feet throughout my travels. And obviously when I'm in England, if I'm around people that are not well, I'll be using that. And you can also take it internally as well. It's great. I put it in my water when I'm on the plane as well, just to give my immune system a little boost. But it's a wonderful oil and a great one for mums. Okay, next blend. This blend, Air Respiratory Blend, really opens up the lungs. It's a combination of peppermint, eucalyptus, cardamom, and other great oils that really peppermint, really open up the lungs. So it's a great one for me in the morning when I'm doing my breathing practice. Really just gives you that lovely breath, and it's great in the diffuser. Smells really fresh as well. Again, I make a roller. You know, I've got asthma and this is like my saviour. I put a little drop on my hand, I breathe it in if I'm feeling a little bit asthmatic. It's an oil for the heart, so if you suffer from anxiety, this is a great oil too. So moving on to Zengest. This is a special blend for the digestive system. So if you get IBS, if you've got any sort of bloat, if you know you're overeating, a great one for Christmas. If you know that you're going to be like eating a big meal, you can take a little bit before. You can take it internally under the tongue as a preventative, or you can take a drop and massage it onto your stomach. Or if you've got kiddies, you can make a little roller and just roll it on their stomach if they've got tummy upset or tummy ache, diarrhea, anything for the stomach. This is the oil that you want to use, okay? And then finally, moving on to this Deep Blue, the Soothing Blend. So this oil you shouldn't use if you're pregnant. You shouldn't use, you know, you need to be cautious of this around kiddies. It's got a child lock on it. Because of the wintergreen and the camphor in it, this is not one that we would use on kids. It's a great blend for the muscles. I use it a lot on my shoulders if my shoulders are a little bit achy. Again, you can put it in a roller, dilute it, and then, you know, put it with some carry oil on your shoulders. Great if you've got arthritis, achy knees, any sort of aches. This and peppermint I use a lot for any kind of period cramps, any sort of cramps or any sort of aches. And I use this after I exercise, around my neck, any areas that I know that I'm going to be tight if you're going for a big hike. It's a good one to use before and afterwards, and I love it. It's got a really distinctive smell. It smells kind of like Savlon. I love it. It's really delicious to smell, but obviously it's got a child lock and you don't want to be thinking it's too delicious around kiddies. So this one, all the oils, if you've got kids, need to be put up somewhere high. They need to be put away from kids. You know, like some of them taste, you know, they smell like sweets, so you want to make sure that they're kept away from your kiddies. So that is the kit, okay? So that's the Home Essentials and the Family Essentials. The Home Essentials, you get about 260 drops of oil, apart from this one, which is 5 ml. You get about 80 drops. In the little ones, you get about 80 drops. With the little kit, you get some little peppermint and on guard beadlets. That's like a quarter of a drop. They're little internal beadlets, like little jelly beadlets that you can take. You don't get that with the large kit, but with the large kit you get the diffuser. So I'm gonna put some links on this video to the prices, the price kits, and you know, you get the biggest saving with the biggest kit, the Family Essentials kit, but it does really depend on your budget, you know. But I just really wanted to share this with you today because so many of you are buying this kit and asking me questions about this kit. So I thought it was about time that I made a video. I'm here for you to give you one-to-ones, to guide you through this journey. And, you know, I'm actively recruiting people that want to do the business. So if you love these oils, if they're really having an impact on your life, and if this is something that you want to do, you know, it's really easy sharing these oils. I love it. It's an easy thing to do. If you want to be part of this with us, then, you know, hook me up, DM me, because I'd love you to be part of our growing team. We've got a wicked team, really lovely people joining us, and it'd be great to have you on board. So if this resonates with you and resonates with your heart, then please give me a shout because I'd love to share more. Thank you so much.